Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and for those of you who don't know, we're watching Fairy Tail episode 312. That's not how I meant to start this. Okay, but what I was gonna say is, for those of you who don't know, I don't know if you watch My Hero Academia series, I already talked about it, but I bashed my toe really bad. I don't think it's broken because it's actually feeling a little bit better today, but it's been about a little over 2 days now since I hit it, and it still hurts to walk. I have to, walk flat-footed because if I, take like a normal step where you bend your toes up, it hurts a lot. So it's basically like a full-on limp and everything. When I'm sitting here like this, it doesn't usually hurt. Every now and then I get a little bit of pain, but just in case, anything, just letting you guys know what's going on in my life. And in case I, kick something and you see me just friggin' start like crying and like cut if I edit it out or whatever happens, it'll hurt if I accidentally like kick my desk or something. Anyways, enough of that. So we're on to Fairy Tail. Last episode we had the reveal that Lady Irene is Urza's mom, but I'm still holding out hope that there's more to it. I mean, there's obviously more to Lady Irene because of what we found out, but I kind of hope there's more to the birth of Urza, because I had my crazy theory that she was like a sword born of Irene's magic, but it's probably not since they zoomed in on the scar, unless they're just red herring us. But, regardless of that, we also have Lady Irene, who is apparently the Queen of Dragons, I think they called her. I kept wanting to say Mother of Dragons because of Game of Thrones, but I have no idea what that means, how she's that old. Did she time travel, or is she just immortal? Like, how is she immortal? Is it the same as, I mean, I highly doubt it's the same as Zareth, or else she'd be, like, just as powerful, even though she seems very confident when she's around Zareth, but I don't know. Let's find out by watching the episode. Alright, guys, let's do it. Alrighty, so like usual, down in the description there's going to be a Vimeo link. You guys can click that. It'll bring you directly to the reaction. And then once you're done watching that on Vimeo, you can come back to this YouTube video where there will be a discussion where I talk about whatever happens in the episode. So make sure you guys check that part out and go ahead and click that link right now. Alrighty, guys, so that is the end of episode 312. That was good. Wait, no, 313. Shoot, did I say the wrong thing in the beginning? That was 313. I hope I said the right thing in the beginning. Oh well, regardless. Now we're in discussion. Woo! So that was a good episode. Sorry if my reaction wasn't like as good as it could have been. It was like a lot of information. I was trying to read and follow along, and I was kind of enraptured in the story, right? The whole episode was just, like pretty much one long story, except for like a little interruption that had to do with like Natsu and stuff. But that was it was really cool. So Lady Irene is the Queen of Dragons because she essentially was a queen of a kingdom way back, she said like 400 years ago. Or was it longer than that? I don't know when all this falls in place with all the good dragons that we know of, like yeah, 400 years ago. I don't know how that all falls in place when it comes to Igneal and Metallicana and all of them, because they might have been like a different part of like another, because I talked about other like kingdoms that work together to fight off like, the human eating dragons and stuff like that, so maybe they were off doing that kind of thing. But so she created Dragon Slayer magic, essentially, which, as we know, turns people into dragons the more you use it and stuff. But they were able to just, like, They showed like one guy like jumping up and flying straight through a dragon, and obviously we had our dragon slayers who fought them when they came through the Eclipse project, and they didn't stand a chance against the dragons. Really, they like didn't even really scratch them. So at first I was confused about that, but as the episode went on, when I had like time to think about it, I put some thought into it, and I think what it was is the uh the fact that the dragons lived inside of all of our dragon slayers and protected them from transforming. I think it dampened their powers. That would be my guess. I don't know if they've ever explicitly said this, but obviously we know they told us it stopped them from turning into dragons, but I don't think they mentioned that it like lessened their powers so they weren't as strong, they weren't able to kill actual dragons. So I'm thinking that was just another side effect of whatever the dragons did to them while they lived, inside them. So um and then I got really confused partially through the episode because it seemed like all the dragons were wiped out because of Acnologia, but obviously we knew that wasn't the case because of Igneal and all that going on and that whole plan, but I think they fixed that confusion for me when Zareth walked up on Irene as a dragon and said it's not very common to find a living dragon these days. So that means there are still some. Acnologia hadn't wiped out every single one at this point. But man, that was a crazy story. So, and then obviously, once she started turning into a dragon, the humans, feared dragons even though they helped them before, and feared Acnologia, so they hated, like, everything that had to do with dragons. They didn't want someone that would be against the dragons and kill all the dragons, but they didn't want someone that was supporting the dragons. It's like they hated everything. They kind of contradicted themselves, right? Oh, Agnologia killed all the good dragons, and then she's like, but I love dragons, and they're like, we hate you for that too. But it was kind of ridiculous, but that's human ignorance, right? Uh Man. So she, rotted in prison. The father of the child, even I guess it had been 3 years at that point, and she still wasn't even showing because centuries passed and stuff like that, and she didn't even give birth. So that's crazy. I wonder what that means for Urza. Is she really a normal human? Was it the fact that Irene was a dragon slayer that slowed down Urza's birth, or is it the fact that Urza is something else that slowed down the birth, right? I don't know. Urza definitely seems to age at a normal rate, because part of the way through the episode I was like, well, is Urza gonna be, like, immortal too now because of this? But we've seen her as a kid with Natsu, and she's grown up with Natsu, and like her size, it makes sense. So she definitely seems to be aging, unless she's gonna hit like a point in her life where she just like the aging slows down or something. But I don't know. I feel like it's a little late for them to reveal too much about Urza, because obviously if they reveal that she's immortal or something like that as well, then that doesn't really do anything for the story, right? Because the story is going to be ending soon. It's not like we're going to be here, in 200 years, and E.N.D and Urza are going to be the only ones remaining that haven't like aged or something, because somehow like the E.N.D demon like doesn't really age either or something. I don't know. It's just like, I don't think there's going to be anything crazy like that because there's just not enough time left in the show. So, man, I don't know if there's going to be any more reveals about Urza. We still have whatever Natsu's going to learn. It seems like they're saying there's like one more secret or something that Natsu's on his way to, but that was a really cool story. I was really into it the entire time. Like I said at the beginning, I felt like my reaction actually lacked an actual reaction because I was so into the story. I wanted to read every line. I didn't want to miss anything, you know? And oh man, that was so good. So, hmm. So basically, once the Dragon Slayer started dying, I'm guessing people stopped learning Dragon Slayer magic. But then Acnologia was someone who, they said in earlier episodes that he bathed in the blood of enough dragons that he became one himself. But I'm pretty sure he also killed the Dragon Slayers, basically anything that could oppose him. And that's, still his mission, even to today. He wants to kill, all the Dragon Slayers. He mentioned it when they got to da, 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 da. When he went after what's his name, God Serena, was that it? The one that could control like all the different elements, the avatar of Dragon Slayers. So he killed him and said there's like, however many left to go. Which is interesting. Does he want to kill Lady Irene too? Is he able to know? I wonder. Because he came face to face with Irene, and Irene was only. I don't know. That makes me want to, like, rewatch that episode and see his wording to Irene. Did he only want to kill Irene because she was in the way to stop him? Or did he want to kill her before that? I don't know. So, that's interesting. But I wonder if Lady Irene is gonna go back into her dragon form at some point before the end of the show. Like, as the fight progresses, is she's gonna get pushed enough to enough of her limits to go back to the dragon form? Because I don't even know if she can. That was another thing. Did becoming human, whatever Zeref did to her to make her look like a human, but not actually human, did that take her taste and, ability to sleep and warmth or whatever all away from her? Or was she unable to do those things even as a dragon, and she was just in human form remembering what those things were like and not being able to do them now? I don't know. I can't remember if we've had any examples of dragons, sleeping and eating and tasting stuff, so I don't know. That's one thing I'm not sure about. But it'll be interesting. How are they gonna stop her? Like, does she also have the strength of being a dragon while still in human form, right? That's another question. So you know how, like, no one was able to stop the dragons during the Eclipse Project. How are they gonna stop Irene? That is a big question. Obviously, we have Natsu and Wendy and all the Dragon Slayers, but they were never actually able to slay dragons back then. Obviously, they're stronger now. Maybe they could now? I don't know. But basically, my question is, can Irene even die here? And what's going to be the end game with that? Oh, I'm so excited to see where the rest of the story goes and how they finish it off and everything. Basically every episode, or not every episode, but majority of the episodes, they're revealing more and more info. It's like, I almost wonder if they had, like, I'm wondering how the manga is for this. Are they shoving, like, a crap ton of manga? Like, is the manga over too, or is the manga still going? That's another question. I don't know anything about that. I don't usually read manga. For one, I don't want to, like, catch up to where I am and pass it and spoil stuff in the show. But I wonder if, they're pushing, tons and tons of chapters, like, an abnormal amount, and smushing it down into these last episodes and doing that. Because we had, so many reveals, right? That I felt like they could have stretched out over a long period of time. Like, each reveal could have been its own arc in a different story, you know? Like, hell, Irene might not even have been a part of, like, Zareth's group, you know? Like, his country. She might have been her own entity and her own storyline in the manga, or, like, whatever they planned for this story. She could have been her own thing, but then when they said, like, okay, we only have this many episodes we can do, we're gonna, you know, put Irene with Zareth so we can do all the Zareth reveals and all the Lady Irene reveals all at once, you know? I don't know. That's just like a random, like, crazy theory that I just came up with. But, so, interesting, interesting, interesting. And Natsu now knows, I don't know how much he listened. Will he have listened enough to come back and know what they said? Because, you know, the head canon Wendy inside Natsu's head, said that Anna told him, you know, obviously back before he time traveled and forgot about it, that the Dragon Slayer magic was created by someone named Irene. Now, is that something he's gonna remember when he wakes up? And I wonder what that's gonna amount to. I also have no idea what his story could be, right? Like, what's the last secret that Natsu has to learn that he's headed to before, you know, he dies, supposedly? We still don't know about how Larcade came to be, too, so there's still a lot of information they can give us. And then we gotta figure out, you know, how they're gonna fight August and Irene and some of these stronger people. You know, they showed Acnologia again, so figure out how he's gonna go down in the end as well. And same with Zareth. Like, we still have why can't I remember her name? Shoot, I'm so stupid. God damn it. I hate that. The Fairy Tale Guildmaster, the first Guildmaster. Why can't I remember her name? She's like one of my favorite characters too, but I don't know why I can't remember it. I do this all the time where I try to think of a name, and the more I try to think about it, the more I dig myself into a hole. But anyways, I'm not gonna sit here and dwell on it too much. The first Guildmaster has a plan, and Mavis, there we go. And I don't know what that is gonna do, like, what that plan is to bring down Zareth. But I am very much looking forward to seeing. We're coming up on the last, like, 12 episodes or so, I think. Because I think there was 50 episodes in total for this final season. And if I have my numbers right, when I do, like, the little tags for each episode that I upload, we're on, like, 34, 35, or 36 or something like that. I remember seeing 33, like, a video or two ago, so we're probably on, like, 35 or 36 now, I think. So that means there's probably roughly 14, give or take, more episodes, if I'm doing that math right. I haven't officially gone and looked at it yet, but maybe I will at some point. But, man, they're gonna be, like, I think the remaining episodes are gonna be pretty insane, because they still gotta wrap up Lady Irene's fight, August's fight, Zareth, Acnologia, Are there any other big hitters that are involved? I don't think so. Did we ever see the Agil conclusion? Not that he's a big hitter, but he's someone that was going up against Elfman and Lysana, maybe? I don't know. I don't think we've seen that conclusion yet, or maybe we did and I just forget, but I'm trying to remember if there's any other big hitters left, because Larcade's down for the count now. Irene, August, Zareth, Acnologia. I think that's all like the big hitters that are left. But those fights are gonna be insane, or at least I hope they are. It's gonna be very, very interesting. And I can't wait to see how they conclude all this. But I'm kind of talking myself in circles now, so I think I've talked about majority of the stuff that I want to. I hope I didn't miss anything, because there was a lot of information this episode. I'm trying to, like, skim through real fast just to make sure. I wonder what's up with that dragon seed, too, now that I think about it. She talked about a dragon seed being placed inside, and that just might be like the power that slowly blooms into turning you into a dragon, you know? Or I wonder if there's going to be more to that, if there's going to be something else involved in that as well. I don't know. That was one thing that I just skimmed by. I thought that I just got to a scene where I saw Urza's dad, and I thought that he was gonna be I thought he was gonna be Acnologia at first. That would have been crazy if friggin' Irene and Acnologia were Urza's parents. The what Urza said at the end was super badass though. Like she was like she was saying like I should thank you for giving birth to me and stuff like that, and I should thank you for throwing me away. She essentially, her entire life she's lived, she's had her down points, right? Obviously the tower stuff was rough and everything, but she came into Fairy Tale because of everything that's happened in her life, because Lady Irene threw her away and everything, and she's like thankful for that because she loves her Fairy Tale family. She doesn't regret not having an actual family or anything, which is awesome. But yeah, that last speech was so good. Anyways, guys, I think that I did skim through the episode. I probably still missed some stuff. I'll probably be editing and be like, oh crap, I didn't mention this. But hopefully I touched on majority of the things that I wanted to talk to. You know, maybe someday I'll actually take notes. I'm just scared I'm gonna, like, stop to write something down and I'm gonna miss some subtitle lines that are, like, really important or something. So, hopefully I touched on everything. Thanks for watching, guys. As usual, if you want to support the channel, you can hit that subscribe button. You can go into the description and check out the link to my Patreon, where you can get some nice benefits like early access and full length, and you also support me in the process, which is very much appreciated. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed once again, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.